Hey guys, I've come back to do a short video on the patch notes for 9.0, and this is hopefully going to be a short video because there's not too much to talk about, although there have been some pretty huge additions which I'm very excited about. So we'll jump straight into it. We've got mainly 3 new things in this update which are kind of big-ish, technically 4 I guess. First one is Petfusty, new hero, and along with this he brings his own map, Pat's Pond. So this is kind of one thing, but it's a new hero and a new map, so there's 2 things technically. But yeah, I'll purchase him now. And man, I should probably turn my sound on, shouldn't I? I always like to keep my phone muted. Let's check this up. And if it's way too loud, I'll hopefully be able to just turn that down in editing afterwards. Yeah, something like this. Anyway. I love that. That's probably my favorite hero purchase so far. So Pat, actually, we'll quickly go over his skills. So first off, he's got Rallying Roar and Big Squeeze. Rallying Roar, he buffs nearby monkeys. So this is basically anyone in radius of him, roughly. It's not exactly his radius, but they get a buff for a duration. A lot of people compare it to Ben's biohack, but they're very different. I don't know why people compare it to this. So Ben's biohack, it has a limit on the number of monkeys in infinite range, and it has a debuff on them after it expires. So Rallying Roar, there's no downside, it just is a short duration buff. But, well, I guess the downside is that it is an extremely small radius. So you have to kind of build around him. But it works really well with some towers, specifically the Tax Zone and Grandmaster Ninja. They're my favorites. And we've got Big Squeeze, which is similar to the balloon shipper, as a lot of people have pointed out. Yeah, he grabs a balloon, squeezes it, and destroys top layer, and then throws the children back. And it's pretty cool. On the levels themselves, they basically revolve around increasing his attack speed and radius, along with his damage, and like small buffs to his abilities, along with a stun. So he's really a support tower, kind of. But he does pretty good damage in a spread situation, like AoEs. He's very slow attacking though, so he's not fantastic single target, although he does do quite high damage, so he can deal with stuff. And new advanced map, Pat's Pond. And I haven't actually unlocked Sandbox for it, sadly. So I can't show it to you on Pat's Pond, but we're going off the coast in Sandbox. Alright, oh, and another couple additions here. In Sandbox we have these 2 new buttons to the left of the blimps. Top blue one here, it resets the pop counts on your towers. So if I put my Pat here, send the balloons, see his damage counter goes up to 11 there. And if I hit this reset button, he's now 0 again. And the other one, it makes all cooldowns come off it makes all abilities come off cooldown. So that's his ability. Pretty handy for testing. I think these 2 new additions in Sandbox are going to be fantastic. Another thing about Pat, he's amphibious. He is so tall that if you place him in water, he will sink down to his feet, but he'll still be there. So anyway, let's just upgrade him all the way to the top. I don't really want to go over each upgrade individually because that'll just take too long. But what we see here is he gains the ability to stun Moabs, and he also gains the ability to knock back balloons, which includes regular Moabs. This doesn't affect BFBs or above though. So he can take out that pretty easily. If we send Zomj here, which takes forever of course. Here's his crush. Bam, destroys it. Let's reset that. He can also grab 4 at once when he gets to high levels. So, pretty cool. I like that. He also his rallying roar. This is the one that I will go over because it's very powerful. So it gets an increased duration and radius, and it gives a bonus to ceramic and Moabs now. So initially this was just +1 layer to all attacks, but now if I put Buccaneer here, it's actually even close enough to him. Actually, let's put below. Yep. Alright, so if I use this, and I send this ceramic, I didn't actually hit it, did I? There we go. So it does 5 damage per shot now. So Rallying Roar gets buffed up to a +1 damage, and against ceramics and Moabs, an extra +3 on top of that. So all your towers around Pat will deal, who have single damage attacks will do 5 damage to Moabs. So that's why it is especially good with like the Tax Zone and the Grandmaster Ninja, because they do lots and lots and lots of 1 damage projectiles. So it synergizes really well with those fast attacking towers, but especially the low damage ones. So this is, I mean, the same deal as the Alchemist basically. So let's get out of here. Don't want to spend too much time on that, even though I already have. Next thing, you asked for it. We got Biker Bones. Alright. Alright. Everyone asked for it, right? Yeah, this was a meme along the Reddit community for ages. I mean, you probably know about the bee meme, whatever. But Biker Bones is officially in the game now. And he's pretty awesome, honestly. I very much like this. Biggest buff Striker Jones ever needed. And that's the small stuff out of the way. The main content here is the challenge editor, of course. This is what everyone wanted, and it has been extremely popular with, I think, we're getting thousands of suggestions, thousands and thousands. I think over 10,000 or something now. There's a lot. And that's only ones that were actually suggested. So you can come in here from the daily challenge menu and you can make your own challenges. Oh my god. Yeah, so I was making a really dumb one there, so don't worry about that. Lol. You can also random a challenge. If you have any problems with the randomizing challenges, let me know, I guess, because it should theoretically be decent. But then you probably run into some weird stuff with it. So, but for the most part, it should be somewhat achievable. But anyway, it's been really exciting to see people using this and sharing their challenges, and even streamers have been really enjoying it quite a lot. So I don't know, I don't know what to say there. It's just amazing, and I hope we can get more cool features like this in the future. Alright, so awesome content out of the way. Now, you guys, I'm sure, do all sorts of cool challenges there, but the main things that I'm going to talk about here are just the bug fixes now and the balance changes. And there's not too many of these compared to some of the updates, because obviously the challenge editor was a huge task, but we'll quickly go over some of these. Freeplay had some difficulty changes, just to change there, so I don't really want to explain it, but it's basically just a bit harder. The rounds were somewhat tweaked to be a bit more dense. Some DDT spawns specifically were spawned to be a bit more dense. That will basically speed up some of the rounds. I think every round after 300-ish now, 350, will now go by twice as fast, because everything in those rounds is now twice as dense. You might not notice because of lag still, but theoretically they're twice as fast now because they are twice as dense, and also theoretically twice as hard since they're twice as dense, but yeah, you know, debatable. But as well as this, there's been some tweaks to somewhat how they scale in a way. Again, it's a bit annoying to explain, so I'm not going to go too much detail there, but basically free play is a bit harder. It's still probably a bit easy, but hey. I forgot to mention this when I was in Sandbox, but let's go back in here quickly. You've got new Moab icons down the bottom here. 3D Moab icons to fit the actual 3D Moabs, which is fantastic because the bad now actually looks like the bad in game instead of a purple blaster populous recolor. Don't worry about that, it's all good. And yeah, there have been some work on general and daily challenges and how they can be done. The Muddy Puddles lane rotation was changed, so the balloons now spawn down. Yeah, as you know, there's 4 lanes of Muddy Puddles. They used to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, then back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they go backwards, and then yeah, and they go back and forth like that. This was an attempt from me to try and do something to make more progress happen on Muddy Puddles chimps, and it has been successful. People have made it up to like round 25 now, I think. I think I saw ISAB made it to 25. So I don't know if this will make it possible, but there has been progress, and that is exciting to me. So it's good to see stuff happening there again. Yeah, whatever. So also the damage cap on counters has been increased. It's super high now. You probably won't see it. If you want to try and get it, go ahead. I would love to see how high you can get your damage counter. There's a new challenge, who can get the biggest damage counter. But it should take a very long time to reach the cap now. So it's no longer 2.1 billion. Some general, okay, Dark Castle projectiles that land on the track no longer clip through the bridge. There was some changes to balloon groupings, which have been good and bad. The purples that spawn after around 100. I'll show that now, if you can actually see it. Alright, I got DDTs, fantastic. Let's see if I can get these purples quickly. Come on. Please, there we go. So the purple, they used to come out in like a cluster of one. It looked like one single balloon. Now you can actually tell there's a bit of a cluster there. And yeah, I don't know, hopefully that helps a bit, but it's also had some downsides. It kind of messed up some earlier things which have been making things weird, not necessarily harder, not necessarily easier, just different, and it's not exactly, I don't know if I like it. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm working on it. And that's pretty much all the bug fixes and general changes there that really matter. So I'll jump into the kind of, is this, oh, it's a specific tower. Yeah, specific tower fixes. So super glue stun was fixed. That works fine. Yeah, just a couple visual things. Bouncing bullet was fixed. Ballistic missile now works correctly when cross-pathed. First strike doesn't crash anymore. Energizing sub actually gives bonus XP now. Some description fixes. Some stun art which wasn't applying is now applying correctly. So like that's like these stuns, for example, that actually play the stars. So the big one is pretty cool now, especially on slow speed. The biggest one, sorry. So it has quite a large animation now, which is, I like it. And it does 60 damage per hit, which we'll get to soon. Yes, support Snook was kind of fixed. Blue Incineration can now burn DDTs, which is good. There was some work done to the bug where the Sun Temple should no longer like lock your hero off if it consumes your hero because your hero's too close. Hopefully that's good. Permabrew was fixed to actually reapply when you load your save. It's been doing this for a while, but it broke recently for some reason. So now you reload your save and Permabrew should be saved still. And it should no longer also bug out when you sell your Permabrew then replace it, because that was causing some weird issues. Some description fixes, some fixes for Benjamin, which kind of minor. Some fix for Azili's splash. For some reason, if she destroyed her target in one hit, the splash would center on her, not the target. And now I want to like Steam. There was a lot of fixes for Steam. There was one where abilities wouldn't show on the side. There's kind of a crash. There's some achievement stuff. Heli patrol points didn't save. Resolution used to sometimes drop to like 0 by 0. You had to delete your settings file to fix it. That's all fixed now. I don't know what was going on there. but hey, it's fixed. The problem was you couldn't change your resolution because your game's so small you couldn't actually see the options button. Some hover functionality was fixed. The changelog button doesn't crash the game anymore or freeze it. That was, I don't know what was going on there. There was a problem where if you use shift on a hotkey and then the hotkey you combined shift with was on another key, it would bug out. That's been completely changed. Now you don't have to hold shift to multiplace tower anymore, you just hold that one hotkey. That's kind of weird, I think, but it makes more sense to me now that I think about it, so I don't know, let's see how that goes. And yeah, typing into boxes in Sandbox, like this for example, come on, oh my gosh. Like, this should no longer activate your abilities because for some reason the hotkeys were being activated by like doing that. I don't know what was going on there. And also hotkeys shouldn't be removed. Like your custom hotkey shouldn't be removed anymore when you swap game versions. Hopefully. That's all the bug stuff. And now onto balance changes. There wasn't too much this update. The last one was huge, and we kind of want that to settle a bit more. And after this one as well, there probably won't be too many balance changes in the next update, just because we don't really we need things to sit for a while now, because we've been doing some big sweeping changes for a while, and stuff just needs to settle. And I want to see everything settle a bit, and I want to see strategies emerge. I want to give everyone time to try everything out. And I'm still interested in seeing everyone's feedback on everything and seeing what you enjoy using most as well. But for now, there's probably going to be a reduction in balance changes. But onto the list regardless. For Boomerang, Permacharge's cooldown was reduced by 5 seconds from 45 to 40. Attack Shooter's Maelstrom projectiles were just being deleted at the end of the round races, which was kind of weird, and so that's just been fixed just for races. Preemptive Strike's price has been reduced from 40,000 to 35,000. For the Monkey Buccaneer, this one is kind of cool. So previously, you get Destroyer, you get super fast attack rate. For some reason, when you got to Aircraft Carrier, your attack rate dropped back to normal again. Let's just, I didn't know I was sending that many at a time. Lol. Skip camera detection. Now this has, that's way too many. What am I, 181, okay. I didn't mean to do that. That was a big, okay, anyway. So, the base building now keeps the fire rate boost. So that's a bit of a nice buff in my opinion. Nothing too huge, but it is significant enough to make a bit of a difference. So, can't complain there. Just Never Miss Darts used to actually perform worse when you got the accelerated error darts knowledge, so they've just been tweaked a bit to work better with that. So it shouldn't be a downside to have that knowledge anymore. And Apache Dart Ship, this one has been commented on a lot. So the price was increased from 19.5 thousand to 19.6 thousand, $100 higher. This is literally purely just to make it so you can't place it in deflation anymore, because it was not a very intuitive strategy to place one single tower and go AFK for the entire game. Yeah, sorry. As mentioned before, the biggest one mortar does 3 times damage now. It's pretty good, but the price was also increased by 4,000, well worth it. The Blue Incineration's Wall of Fire for the XX5 mortar now benefits from the radius, pierce, and damage buffs from the top, which is kind of cool. It just means it does a Wall of Fire, does 2 damage, a bit more pierce, and has a bit more radius. It means now that the 2x5 Blue Incineration has stronger Wall of Fires than the 025, but it's probably still better for the base tower to go middle path. So yeah, it's interesting, but it gives a bit more reason to try different things. For the Super Monkey, the Tech Terror's ability was increased in radius by about 50%. Then Tier 5 ability was increased by roughly 10%-ish. The Legend of the Night had its pierce increased from 9 to 21, and its damage increased by 1. So now it should be way more stronger full, but It's still very expensive, obviously, so it's never going to be a tower you're never going to see this in a Chimps run, really, or anything like that. Let's go through here. Grandmaster Ninja. Yeah. Pierce was increased from 4 to 6. It's pretty significant. Try out your Grandmaster Ninja. It's pretty awesome now. Had a lot of questions on this one. The Heart of Vengeance. So Heart of Vengeance means up to 100 lives lost gives you attack speed. This is literally 1% faster attack speed for every life lost after you've placed this tower. So you can get 100% extra attack rate. This was just changed now to give 10% of this always, so, but still cap at 100%. So basically what it means is you get Heart of Vengeance now, this upgrade, your tower attacks 10% faster without anything. And then you can lose 90 lives and get it up to 100% faster. It's as simple as that. So Benjamin's abilities as well used to be kind of deactivated when the round ends. That's been fixed. Oh, not fixed, it was intended, but it didn't really match with everything else, so that's changed now. So you can, for example, use his Siphon Funding at the end of a round, and when, like, at the end of round 79, for example, and the zombies that spawns will immediately be just lowered to a BFB. Very easy win. Huh. And finally, one of the coolest changes actually, Azili's level 10 Mob Hex ability. It now jumps to the next strongest target on the screen if the initial target is destroyed before the duration expires. So if you don't know what this ability does, it curses a Moab, and it just drains its health by a percentage every second until it's destroyed. So if you have other towers attacking this and like you destroyed it earlier, you kind of wasted the ability. So this has been changed so that, yeah, if the target's destroyed too quickly, it's just like, okay, pick a new target. And it keeps on jumping from the strongest target to the next strongest target over and over until its duration expires. There's no limit to the number of times it can jump, but the duration itself never is refreshed. And that's all there is to this update. I hope you guys really enjoy playing around with the challenge editor and stuff. If you want to check out the patch notes, I will include them in the description. And please do go in and make some challenges, and also you have to actually beat them, and then you can share them and submit them, and they can potentially then become daily challenges in the game, or you can just share the code with your friends, and all your friends can play your challenges. It's super exciting to see this, so have fun. Anyway. Sorry for droning on for so long. I have no idea how long this takes, but I will let you go now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.